Well, babes, we're officially at that point where the sun is shining, the birds are chirping, spring is right around the corner. Let's get this entire house decorated for spring with gorgeous thrifted finds to make this the cozy spring home of my dreams. You can definitely see that I'm so hyped to springify this home because oh my gosh, the pieces that I've been able to find and curate and plan for to add, this is just some of them. We are gonna be doing all of this together because I'm so ready to shake off the cold season and I know that you are too. Taking a look, you definitely see the direction of where we're headed with this and it's very much in the blues. But here's my entire mood board that I was able to put together of how I can just springify little nooks and crannies of this home. And truly no spot is gonna be left undecorated. We gotta update our little coffee corner, our kitchen shelves too. The living room definitely needs some love and our breakfast nook too. Adding curtains, changing pillows, integrating florals. I want to be able to look into every single corner of this home and just feel joy and color. In my last vlog, we already did a little soft launch of spring where I changed some of the curtains in my living room to these gorgeous blue ones that have already brightened up the space so much. And today's video is all about adding those details. Thrifted pieces and finds that I've curated over time that are just so beautiful and will add so much character to this space. And it will hopefully inspire you guys to do the same. I thrifted this gorgeous piece of artwork the other day that I just cannot wait to add to our living room. It's messy, it's dirty, it could use a really good clean, so it's the perfect place to get started. So we are currently in my living room right now, and as you can see, the only thing that's really been springified in here is the curtains that we added and the rug. Everything else, the pillows, the sofa table decor, all of it is literally so fall coated. And the reason is, if you don't know, I actually live in Florida and we kind of skip over winter. It kind of goes to chilly fall weather straight into spring and summer. So I never really felt like I needed to winterify this whole space, but we're gonna be making a ton of swaps. I thrifted so much decor for the sofa table and found some really cool pillow covers to change up the pillows here. And of course, this wall right here has been the bane of my existence. It's been so hard for me to find a piece of artwork to go right in the center over there. I was so adamant on thrifting something, and this right here is your proof that the good things in life are worth waiting for. Look at this gorgeous oil painting, cottage core heaven. You've got some hydrangeas, a gorgeous wooden desk, some fruit. I mean, I couldn't even imagine a better piece to go over there. The size is also perfect, and the best part is that I got this for $15. But like I mentioned, it is dusty, it is dirty, it's got some like butterfly stickers on it as well. We've got to clean this piece up. But before even getting to that, I love to start things with a blank canvas. So everything that's in here right now that I don't want to have stay in here, I'm gonna store away for the cold seasons. Let's strip off all the pillow cushions, move out all of this decor, and make space for all of our new thrifty finds.
Truly, you guys, I have no idea how long this piece of artwork has been sitting in someone's house, but it definitely needed a good clean. And truly, I just used some of my favorite non-toxic cleaner, wipe it all down, and oh my gosh, the grime that came off of this, I mean, not so pleasant, but will definitely be worth it. I then went in with my scraper tool, which truly I used so much, but I used this to especially get out all of those stickers. I feel like somebody just decorated this in a 5-year-old's bedroom, but hey, we love art that had a previous life before us, right? The back was coming apart a little bit, so I just went ahead with some tape to secure it, and I love that there was already a wire built in to make hanging super easy.
You guys, I am so in love with it. I actually feel like the size is perfect. Something that is big enough to take up the majority of the space, but still leaves us a good amount of clearance for the decor that we're gonna have here in the bottom. And I think the artwork is so beautiful. The only thing I'm actually debating, I've seen people do, I actually saw a lot of people getting rid of the glass of their artwork, and I feel like it may be a good option to do it here because then it's gonna look more like a genuine oil painting instead of something reflective like this. But I really do love all the ties of the colors. We've got some purple. The photo itself has a blue undertone as well. So let's take all of that color and sprinkle it into the rest of the living room. Okay, my lovelies, I am so excited for us to get to the fun part, and that is starting to decorate, because right now I feel like we have a pretty good base going on that allows us so much opportunity to add fun color, fun texture, and just all of our cool thrifted finds also. And I really want to do this step by step because I know that decorating can get so overwhelming, especially when you have a blank slate like this. So let me bring together everything that I've thrifted, including some coffee table books, my collection of pillowcases, all of our spring florals, and of course a bunch of other decor items too. If you aren't already thrifting a lot of your coffee table books, let me tell you, there are maybe like 1 or 2 that I bought in the past on my own, but something that is definitely skipped over is just how gorgeous so many of the books at the thrift stores are. Of course, I would always recommend try to find books that you actually have an interest in, that I truly love flipping through. So much thrifted inspiration, all packaged in a gorgeous book that you can also use for decor, whether it be on a coffee table or on a sofa table like the one that we have here. Here are just a few inspo pictures of people decorating sofa tables, tables and coffee tables with coffee table books. This painting right here, why did I want to get it up on the wall, is because this is actually my anchor piece. I want to take inspiration from this piece for the actual colors that I'm going to add into my living room. Taking a look at this artwork, you already know that it has a lot of blue undertones. And blue is already a color I mentioned I want to sprinkle throughout the house. This is a new book that I've had for a little while, and I've always loved this color so much, but I've always dreamed of being able to thrift one. And the other day when I was at the thrift store, I came across probably the most beautiful meant to be coffee table book for me, and it is this Monet art book that I literally got for $6.99. I love the artwork from this artist. I even have a couple pieces in my home already, and I just know that you for sure recognize a lot of these sunflowers. I've been seeing that print everywhere. And my favorite one right here is Monet's Garden. I literally have this art frame in my kitchen right now above my coffee station. Love it so much. So finding this was truly a dream come true. But not only that, when you remove the cover, look at this beautiful, beautiful blue. I mean, how pretty. But okay, instead of just sticking to the blue, I actually really wanted to add a secondary accent color. The beautiful thing about this anchor piece is that it has so many different colors that you can work with. If you're somebody who loves a lot of plants, you may want to lean into the greens, throw that around your living room along with all of the plants you're going to surround in your space. That's going to look so pretty. If you want to lean more girly and feminine, you can lean into the purples because lavenders with light blues look really pretty together if you want more of that pastel theme. Or you could be like me. The fact that I have a lot of chocolate brown wood in my home, I really want to lean into the wood in this painting, which is all of these tones of brown and orange and rust. Just take a look at how this stacks up. We've got the blue, we've got the brown, and then I have this vintage country quilts book, which is all about quilts, and the binding is a beautiful orange. This is my color theme, and I mean, just look at how pretty. Now that I have my stacks ready, I'm gonna get them on the table. We're gonna move on to step 2. So we've got our accent color. The next thing we want to add is our accent floral. This is the one thing that every season you're gonna want to change according to that season's plants. I have all of these gorgeous faux florals here that are very spring coated. We've got some baby's breath, some beautiful hydrangeas, and these gorgeous little white flowers that I actually saw in this inspiration picture that I want to mimic. I'm gonna add these florals to this vase, and I'm gonna ground the vase by putting it on top of a coffee table book. The one thing you guys shouldn't skip out on is zhuzh your flowers. Don't just plop them in the vase, but spread them out, bend them in different kind of ways to make them look as authentic as possible. Just get this bouquet looking fluffy. That's all I'm saying. Okay, you guys, so this is the bouquet that I ended up coming up with. And there is one thing I want you to keep in mind. Not only do you need to fluff up these flowers, you want to make them look as realistic as possible. So in order to do that, you want the flowers to droop the way that real flowers would. Think about it. Whenever you put flowers in a vase, the top part of the flower, the bulb, is usually the heaviest part. So that is usually the part that tends to droop down. So as I was going and fluffing this up, I just made sure to bend all of those little buds kind of pointing down as if they're drooping down instead of just being spread out, stick straight in all different directions. This way you kind of have the illusion that gravity is weighing them down, which is what makes them look so much more realistic. Anybody else obsessed with how that looks? But okay, we've got our colors, we've got our florals. Next up, we are going to be adding the rest of our decor. And all of these pieces that I curated, again, I'm trying to tie them into that one painting we have up above, which is our anchor. This wooden box, for example, I love the weaving texture of it, which matches the weaving texture of the basket in the painting. And then I really want to go ahead and tie in some brass items to match the brass in the actual frame. We have a mix of wood and gold throughout my entire house, so this will help get it to be really cohesive. Really easy ways to incorporate metals is through brass candlesticks. Metallic frames like this gorgeous one, still pending a photo, which I need to get printed, but I love the rounded edges. And then this super cool vintage clock, which would go perfect on a sofa table. Plus, we don't have a single clock here in the living room. The only thing is I still gotta get a battery for it. And finally, colored candles. Like I said, I'm actually gonna be integrating blue ones, but you can swap them out every single season, like fall for burgundy, green for the summer. And it is such a great way to tie in your decor without it being so expensive. I am actually so in love with how the table is turning out. Okay, moving on. Next step. We are on to the jewelry of your sofa, and that is our throw pillows. When it comes to choosing your throw pillows, your throw pillow covers, I always keep the same inserts and then just swap out the actual cushion covers. Instead of like going to Target every single season and buying new pillows, like who has space to store all of that? So we're gonna have a rotation of cushion covers instead. And just like I chose a color scheme among our sofa table, I'm gonna be taking in those same colors and splashing it into the couch. For the blues, we've got our gorgeous just powder blue. We've got these striped ones that have a hint of a deeper blue in them. And then these cushion covers were such a score. I was able to find a set of 2 of these, and how beautiful are they? Literally, this design looks like such a high-end throw pillow, and they're also exactly the color I'm looking for, because just like I mentioned in the book, so we want to do a mix of the powder blue with these rustic colors as a perfect pairing. And if you're wondering, Haley, how is it that you know exactly which cushion covers to get so that they all work well together? Well, I have a rule of thirds. Whenever I'm choosing out my pillowcases, I like to do them in categories of 3. So blue, brown, and burgundy, those are our 3 colorways. And then in terms of pillow type, you want to do a category of 3 as well. You've got your solid pillows, just like these. You've got your stripe, and finally you've got your pattern. So a mix of 3 colors in 3 different types of styles is what's gonna make your sofa feel cohesive and collected without being too matchy-matchy. I mean, you guys, how unreal is this? Little changes, small changes of color, of patterns, of texture. We were able to totally transform this living room with the smallest of details, but now it is officially spring ready, and I'm so in love with all of it. From the artwork to the console table to the cushions and how they match the rug. I mean, all of these little color tones are sprinkled in here so beautifully that now the blue curtains actually looks like it matches so well. And dare I say, now this little corner of my home feels like a vacation getaway. But as you guys know, a thrifted home is never complete. As much as I do really love the way everything is looking, the one thing throwing me off is our little lamps over here that I feel like are a bit too small scale for this table, but I am making it a goal to thrift some matching lamps for this exact spot that are on a bigger scale, possibly a different color as well so that they don't match this vase too much, and hopefully let that act as your reminder as well that your home never has to be complete in one shot. A curated and collected home is something that is being put together over time, and sometimes you just have to be patient and wait for those perfect pieces to complete your space. But I definitely think that we made so much progress with the living room already that why don't you say it is time we move on to our next little section, which is making over our breakfast nook. Alright, well, who's ready for a little DIY? You're probably thinking, Haley, what is this huge rod right over here? Well, this, you guys, is actually a pipe that I got from Home Depot, and the reason I picked it up is because I actually want to use it to create a custom cafe curtain rod. Because I mentioned to you guys in a previous vlog, I really want to add some cafe curtains over here as well as in my kitchen. But because of the way that our window is laid out, I need an inside mount, which is so hard to find a custom one. So I figured, let's just make it ourselves for under $10. And before even doing so, I gotta show you the cafe curtains that I ended up picking out. I asked you in my last video, taking a look at our breakfast nook area and taking into account the blue curtains that we have to the right of me, do we do some beige curtains with a hint of blue stripes or with a hint of blue florals? An overwhelming amount of you guys said blue florals, and I have to agree. And I found these most gorgeous cafe curtains from Amazon. Just take a look at how pretty these are, and the blue florals matches perfectly with the blue in the curtains, which I think once we put it up will be a beautiful pairing. But before even doing so, like I said, we gotta mount up our rod. So for this DIY, you're gonna be needing a copper pipe. These are very, very lightweight, and I got a 12-foot one, so hopefully I can make a rod long enough for this curtain and my kitchen window as well. You're also gonna need some inside mount ends. These are the ones that I got. A lot of people actually use these for closet rods. You basically just attach it to the wall, and you can just slide on the rod right over, and it will hold your entire rod in place. I was only able to find silver ones, but I am gonna give them a bit of a vintage gold look to match the rod, which you'll see in a second. And then finally, if you're wondering, how am I gonna get this long rod at the exact length that I need? And you're gonna love this, especially if you hate using tools, because all we're gonna be using is this pipe cutter that I got on Amazon as well. You could just manually cut the pipe to whatever length you want without needing an actual power tool. How amazing. And I think that's gonna be the first step in what we're gonna need. I'm gonna measure out the inside of the window to get the exact length and cut this pipe down to size. You guys, hacks is like my thing. Once I got up the curtains, I realized that they were just a little bit wrinkled, and I wanted them to have that pleated look, but I was too lazy to take them down and use an actual iron. So then I thought, flat iron, how perfect. And guys, I actually think this works better than a regular iron because you can fold the crease how you want it and then literally straighten it out to give you that perfect pinch pleat look. How pretty! I honestly love how they turned out. This is what it looks like when it is fully closed, which for whenever the sun beams in, this is perfect to keep away all of that extra sunlight. But then whenever I want to go ahead and open it, I can just open it to the sides. And it's the prettiest jewelry for your window. That's honestly what curtains are. It's jewelry. I have to say the rod is actually perfect. I even thought that I was originally going to need to paint it because it was originally a copper color. But I don't know, now looking at it, I like the variation of gold. I like that the rings are slightly more yellow. This is slightly more copper. Even the fact that this piece was silver but now it matches. I am just so happy with it all. Now that we have our curtains set up, it is time for me to decorate the rest of this area with some pieces that I already have, and we definitely need some nice faux florals here too. Really, I don't think it's possible for me to be more in love with a certain corner of the house. I love this breakfast nook now. The hints of blue especially, it feels so spring. I absolutely love having the mix of old and new. These coasters are actually from a Target. They're so pretty, but paired together with these vintage salt and pepper shakers, these thrifted placemats, and the new cafe curtains, this is how you do the perfect balance of old and new. But what do you guys think of the breakfast nook? I am just so in love. And as you can see, we're slowly making our way through the house. I feel like it's time we move on to the next. We're gonna be tackling my coffee corner. Well, babes, we've made it to this point. The corner which you all know and love. The place where I make my infamous coffees and matchas every single morning. So this area, it's gotta look cute. I mean, it already does, but I definitely want to add a touch of blue over here. And I cannot wait for you to see all the gorgeous mugs that I thrifted because, oh my god, they're beautiful. But as always, let me start off with a blank slate. We're gonna get everything here moved out to make way for all the new. Well, thrifted new. I genuinely think this is by far my favorite way that I've ever decorated these shelves. I love the hints of blue, but yeah, we still have all of the florals also. How gorgeous are some of these thrift finds? I'm telling you, when I found that Henry McKenna whiskey bottle, I was like floored right away. And that bottle gave me the inspiration to look more for this pattern. And as you can see with these shelves, it's truly all about balance. We have something blue on every single one of the shelves, as well as something brown and wood toned with some florals thrown in there too. It overall looks so beautiful and cohesive. And now time for the star of the show, my coffee corner. Let's give this baby an update because she's looking so bare right now. And as you can see, we did take off my artwork over here because I've already teased it a couple times, but I so badly want to add a plate wall up here. I have thrifted so many gorgeous plates over time, and I feel like the best place to put a plate wall is in the kitchen. That's why I love that I have this wall blank. It allows me to just express my creativity with every new coming season. So let me quickly set up my coffee area with all of my new and blue coffee finds. And then once that's ready, we'll plan out the gallery wall. Listen, you guys, doing a plate wall can honestly seem so intimidating, but truly all you have to do is collect plates that you love, colors that you love, patterns that you love. And when it comes to hanging them, there's actually something you can already buy to help hang your plates. It's these little claw clips that come with these springs. It even comes with the hooks to attach them to the wall yourself. You just find the correct size, attach them on, and at that point you just have to plan out exactly where you want your plates and one by one position them up as you go. And I know that I said that it's easy, but sometimes no, my favorite plate just broke. I'm I'm so sad. How? No, like you don't understand. I had it all mapped out in my head and everything. It was gonna be perfect and I needed something with red. I guess I'm gonna have to put a temporary one there. Like the shape, the color was perfect. I'm so sad. Okay, back to the drawing board. I'm going through my plates, trying to find something else that will match. This isn't exactly what I wanted. I mean, this plate is gorgeous. I absolutely love it. It's kind of close to the red color, so like this may still work. I can either do kind of like a green on both sides situation, or I can go a little bold and do the seashell up here, which honestly, I kind of like that. Okay, I think we'll go seashell. I'm like debating if I should stop here or keep going and building. I don't know. What do you guys think? Stop or add? I don't know. Well, good morning, babes. It is officially the next morning and I'm officially standing in my new house and it's crazy. It actually feels like a new house. It's honestly insane to me how much such little changes, like changing the curtains, adding some color, swapping out some decor, can truly make the biggest difference in your space. I am feeling all of the spring vibes in this house right now and I'm just gonna add in some b-roll of what our space is looking like. You may notice a couple decor changes because I won't lie. As I was kind of like going around looking at certain items, I was like, I prefer this here. I like this better here. In my breakfast nook, for example, which by the way, how gorgeous is our breakfast nook now with the cafe curtains? It's stunning. But you saw over here, I originally had a different vase. I had a blue striped one, but once I took a step back, I was just like, you know what? It's just like too much blue going on. So I decided to swap it for this rattan one instead. And I actually took that blue one upstairs into my office where I was actually able to add some even more decor that I've thrifted. And it just goes to show, like I've mentioned to you time and time again, putting together a beautiful home is something that honestly, it takes time. You want to curate, you want to collect, you want to swap things out as you find joy in them, because that is truly the only way that you can ensure that every single thing in your home is something you love. And of course, remember to remain practical. As much as you guys see my beautiful living room, we cannot forget the most important addition, the colorful play mats, everything for the kids, the crib with the mess, we still got it. When I was filming my entryway, I found some random magnets on the door. Let this just be your reminder that as much as you can truly have a beautiful home, a home that is messy is a home that is full of life. And with that, I want you guys to actually stay tuned, because as much as you saw me tackle this side of the house, right on behind me where we have my dining room and my entryway, I still actually have quite a lot to do. Even though I still made some like little swaps to some more springy flowers here. There's a touch of spring in the bookcases as well. I still want to go ahead and add a lot more spring items to these sections of the home too. Plus, stay tuned for my next video because I'm so excited to say that I found on Facebook Marketplace the most perfect entryway bench to go right over here that has storage. I mentioned to you so many times how we have a storage problem in this house and I cannot wait to go ahead and upcycle it. This is basically what that little bench is looking like. It is orange, it is ugly, and it definitely needs some good restaining love, which we'll tackle on together in the next vlog, so stay tuned for that. It's actually crazy. Every single corner of my home right now truly brings me joy, being able to fill it with such beautiful thrifted finds, especially with knowing that my home is filled with like unique pieces that you're not going to see in every single person's home right now. So this is the point that we're at. I'm really loving our progress so far. We definitely still have more to do, so stay tuned for the future vlogs as you guys will see more updates to come. I am always thrifting. I am always hunting for the perfect pieces for every corner of this house, and this house has a lot of corners that need to be tackled. We basically got 3 little areas of the house done up for spring. We've got the living room, my breakfast nook, and of course my coffee corner. I want you guys right now taking a look at these spaces. Comment down below which little corner is your favorite. It is so hard for me to choose because in the living room I love our cushions, I love our artwork. In the breakfast nook, the cafe curtains turned out so gorgeous. In my coffee corner, I mean this mug rack and plate wall, it's all so pretty. Comment down below which is your favorite, and if you have any tips or advice for me too, I am always loving to take your opinions. And finally, I'm actually also gonna need your help for the next video, because as much as we really have beautiful curated thrifted pieces and textiles in this home, something that this space is definitely lacking is something that you've all commented. It is plants, greenery, life. And I'm not talking about the faux florals that we added. Yes, they're pretty, but I want to prove to everybody that I can be a mom of 3 and I can also be a plant mom. So for any of you guys who have a green thumb, if you love to garden, or even if you love certain plants in general, comment down below taking a look at the vibe and style of my house, plant names, different plant types and species that you think I should get for this space. I think it would be really cool for us us to do a vlog where I'm filling my entire house with plants that we can do together. Shop for plants, garden them, find the perfect pots, like all of that. Doesn't it sound so much fun? I mean, my knowledge of plants, I have this one little snake plant that is almost impossible to kill. And I do have a little pothos plant, which as you guys can see, I am actually propagating the stems over here so I can replant them into little pots. This is one of those plants that you only have to water like once a week. I think that's why it's easy for me to keep them alive. I'm even thinking to maybe do like a little herb station by my kitchen. That could be so pretty too. I have so many ideas flowing. So comment it down below, and if you guys are watching up to this point, you know you're the real MVP. I love the ones who stick around all the way till the end. If you are watching up to this point, then comment down below. You know what? Comment down below coastal cottage, because I really feel like the fusion of my style for the spring and the summer is very much that. A lot of pieces that are very coastal inspired, hence all of the blue, with a mix of vintage cottagecore. So coastal cottage, comment it down below if you are watching up to this point. It is so insane to think where this home was a little bit over a year ago when we bought it, before the renovations, before I put my own personal touch to it, and now it's slowly becoming an oasis that I love to come to. I love being a homebody in this home, and I feel like that's how everybody should feel about their space. And a big thank you to all of you for all of your opinions, all of your advice that helps me get to a place that I love. Seriously, thank you guys. I love you all so much. Thank you so much for watching, and I cannot wait to see you in my next one.